Hello there, punters, and welcome to the Reverend Bob Talk Show, the best modified car programme ever. Now, at the minute, I'm not down at the garage, but in the church garden, because I've got an inspection from the bishop. You know how hard they can be, but don't worry, I've not been slacking on my duties car-wise. We have got an awesome half hour lined up for you. In fact, it is what's coming up this week. To celebrate our country's glorious sunshine, Kenny gets topless in an MR2 Turbo. And over on the Rolling Road, we've got the first two cars in our under 2 litre class. Very tasty, but to kick it off, here's Aussie tuning guru Bob Darwin. Stop the press, folks. Yes, it's me, Bob Darwin, Australia's answer to just about everything when it comes to dangerous animals and modified cars. Now, last week we looked at fitting beautiful dump valves to your car. And this week we're staying with the noisy things in life, but not under the bonnet. No, this week we're talking in-car entertainment. So here's the guy who's always as busy as a cat burying turds when it comes to in-car masterpieces, the legendary Big Mr. Phil. Phil, mate. How the devil are you?
Good to see you again.
You've been working out?
A bit of rubbing down.
Good man. Now, last year you never failed to amaze me and the folks at home with the amazing things you did with the in-car stereos. Is it the same this year?
We've actually taken it to another level.
No way, surely that's impossible, mate.
Do you want to come and have a look?
Show me more.
Come on then.
Marvellous.
Right, we take pictures of everything we do.
What, even when you're on the dunny, mate?
We know, we draw the line.
Ah, just with the cars.
Just with the car. Now we're going to show you door builds.
Superb.
So what you've got here is a door panel.
Right.
And this section here is what we've made.
You've made that, it looks like a factory job. You see that, guys?
Now behind this grille, we have the speakers.
It's like a tweeter and the mid-range thing there.
So what we're going to show you today is a scaled-down version of this to give you an idea of how it all goes together.
We're going to see these hands actually making the stuff.
So we're going to see this in the workshop.
In the workshop.
Take a captain.
Let's take a captain cook. Marvellous. Wow, like a little cave in the Aussie outback. So, mate, this is where you create your little works of wonderment in here.
The fabrication room. So there you go, a scaled-down version of a door build.
Awesome.
So we're going to show you how we do this. First of all, we'll start with the base plate.
That's obviously the back of one of those.
Yep. So this will follow the contours of the door.
Right.
Obviously leave if you've got a manual window.
Window winder thing,
yep, exactly.
What we have on the ute.
Your baffle that holds the speakers. Then we've got the little panel there.
Right.
And the grille. And then what we do here is we put...
Yeah, I saw that tape. What's that all about, mate?
It gives you an even gap right the way round to fill up to. And then when you take this out, take the tape off, you can then trim.
Ah, so when you've got your little bits and you're tucking it in, making it nice and neat, it'll all fit in.
Yep.
I understand.
Now what you do then is you space your baffle up so it gives you a better sound, get the speakers.
Sitting in the car there, driving along in the desert, nice bit of sound hitting your face.
Yep.
Superb.
Hot glue those together. And then you're ready to start putting the fiberglass on.
I like I've got a release in the top paddock, mate, but why are you gluing these things on when they've got to come off?
Well, we've only tacked them on slightly so we can pull them off afterwards.
A bit of leverage and away they go.
Exactly, but it'll hold it in place while we fiberglass it all up.
No drongo, this guy, that's for sure.
So, as always...
Phil, mate, I've not nicked anything from the garage, I promise you. You can check my pockets. Well, what's he doing now?
We're going to do a bit of fiberglass in.
I got a bit worried then when I came into the airport when I was flying in for the series. Similar thing happened. Walking funny for a week. Anyway, enough of my problems, mate.
So we've got a bit of fiberglass, and this is used to bond everything together.
Right.
So we'll mix this up.
I guess you should have a mask on here so you don't cark it with the smell coming in.
Plenty of ventilation, eye protection.
Of course, you've got the whole fan thing here, and
yep.
you know, it's a proper room for doing it. So don't be doing this in your fridge, folks, or you won't be doing it twice, that's for sure.
So once you've mixed it up, you can then...
literally just slap it on there.
Slap it on.
So folks, you're going to make up the main shape of your door panel with the thick filler and then onto the fine stuff. This will give you your finished design. When you're nearly there, loads of time rubbing it down, and it's got to be real smooth, smoother than a new road's backside in fact, because when you put the skin on, if there's any blemishes, it won't look right. So remove the little panels, the speaker panel there, we'll cover those in a minute. And then it's a case of getting the skin. Now this material is real stretchy, so it'll mould to the contours of the door panel that you've made. Put your adhesive on, again, wear a mask so you don't cark it, and then it's a case of painstakingly stretch it over the finished design. Take a load of time, get it to fit the contours, get rid of any air pockets, and you'll have a nice job in the end. Final step, recover the inserts to match the interior of the car. And there you have it, job done and dusted. Now, that's quite a simple one. Let's take a look at a major design that the Big Phil made earlier. No, Phil, that's not one you've done, is it?
No, this is the factory.
Ah, right, it's a bit nasty and dull, isn't it?
But this...
Wow! You see that, guys? And it's all smoothed in and all the bits have gone, and this is... Oh, that's the panel. No doubt about it, an absolute awesome job. Now, obviously, this one is very complex, but it is doable, and if you want any hints and tips, send me an email via the usual Men & Motors website, and I will sort it out for you. See you later. Bishop's missus gave me this. Always like to keep a bush nice and trim. Well, thanks to Bob Darwin there, and he will be back real soon. But now, folks, it's time for the main event, the bit with more crowd-pulling potential than a Minogun Brulia mud wrestle. It is, of course, the fabulous Rolling Road Shootout. So let's get over right now to Well Lane Turbo Centre. So what do we do in a rolling road shootout? Well, it couldn't be easier. We take two motors, we strap them on the rolling road, we rev the backside out of them, and the one with the highest brake horsepower figure is the winner. All we need is two lads with two motors. Hello, hey! You can't get a staff these days. Punter number one with a nice Saxo VTR. What's your name, my friend?
James.
James, what do you do for a living?
I'm a tree surgeon.
An arboriculturist, as it's known in the trade. I'm not as daft as I look. There's no woodworm in this, is there?
Not at all.
Pop your bonnet, mate. We'll be back in a second. Punter number two with a very lovely Renault 5 Turbo. What's your name, my friend?
Zaf.
Zaf, what do you do for a living?
Network engineer.
Is that mobile phones and that?
Exactly.
So when my mobile never works, it's your fault.
Exactly.
Send your letters in to him, mate. Pop your bonnet, Zaf. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Right then, Jimmy, you've obviously been very busy under here. Now, I don't want your life story. I don't want to know what happened to you as a child, but I do want to know what you've been doing under here.
Right, got a chip, cam kit, decap manifold as well, induction kit and FSE.
Now, when we stick this car on the rollers, the actual figure, if it's 20 brake more than what you tell me now, I'll assume you're cheating, trying to pull a fast one, trying to get a cheeky price for not much work. You'll be sent home packing. With nothing. With that in mind, mate, what do you think this is pulling?
Roughly 120.
120 brake from a Saxo VTR. If it's there, it's going to be heavenly. Nice one, mate. Right then, Zaf, mate, with a Renault 5 again. I don't want your life story, mate. I don't want to know what you had for breakfast. I want to know what's going on engine-wise.
Basically, it's a brand new engine, stainless steel induction charger, light and flywheel, performance clutch, dump valve, and a big bore straight through exhaust, and it's running standard about 9 PSI. So, like James, you've been busy, mate. The 20 brake stipulation, bearing that in mind, what do you think your Renault 5's pulling? About 120, 125. 120, 125, 120 from the Saxo. It's going to be a close one. Two nice lads, two nice motors. Let's get to work. Right, we are then, folks. First up, it's Jimmy's very nice Saxo VTR. As ever, it's strapped down tighter than the budget for this show, as it happens, so there's no danger of it leaving through that wall and James then taking it out on my head. Not that he'd do that, he's a nice bloke. What are we hoping for?
120.
120 horsepower. Do you lot reckon we're going to have it? Yeah! Oh, they're confident as ever. Barry, are you ready, mate? Ready. Fire it up. Step out this way, James. 120, we've got the twin pipes on the Saxo. They're sounding mint already. Come on, Barry! This will give him some encouragement, come on! Oh, I tell you what, a heavenly sound for them twin exhaust pipes, and it's only a 1.6. But is it a brake horsepower figure? To behold, we were hoping for 120 brake. This week's scores from the very lovely Amy. We couldn't get Catherine Zeta-Jones, too expensive, but Amy's free. You can't beat it. Put us out of our misery, you little glamour puss. What are we getting from this car?
125.
125 brake horsepower. What do you reckon to that? Yeah! Hey, they're well chuffed. Are you pleased with that?
Mate.
5 more than you wanted, Zaf. Come here, my friend. 125, the chips are down. You think you're going to have that from your Renault?
Yeah.
He's confident to the end. Well, we'll find out in part 2 of the show, because now we're going to the game show that everyone's talking about. It is, of course, Match the Hatch, presented by the one, the only... Stuart. Come on!
Thank you, Reverend Bob, and bless you. And welcome again, hot hatchers, to the wonderful, awesome Castlefield in the heart of Mancunium for another gripping edition of Match the Hatch. Before your very eyes, a delectable, svelte, Corsa. Shortly, 3 goddesses will appear, all claiming to be, despite the train, the owner of this wonderful motor car. 2 are telling porkies and 1 is telling the truth. Your job to guess the truth for 1. Without more ado, let us meet the first of our goddesses. Okay, it's Corsa time. And here's potential owner number 1, who is...
Hi, I'm Mel and I love my Corsa because of its evil front bumper.
Mel with everything up front. But does Mel really own the car? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? Is it potential owner number 2, who is?
Hi, my name's Kirsty and I love my Corsa because of its mean exhaust.
Its mean exhaust. Could Kirsty ever be mean, bejeweled and beautiful as she is? And more to the point, does she actually own the car? Swipe me. The heat's incredible, but now meet contestant number 3, who is?
Hi, my name's Hayley and I like my Corsa because it gets lots of attention.
The Corsa gets lots of attention, so does she, but if you've got it, then you actually flaunt it. But does she own the car? Now, which of these 3 young ladies actually owns the car? I'll give you a clue. There's a heady perfume in the cockpit. To find out, join me after the break.
And it'll be no laughing matter on the rolling road as we see if Stats Renault 5 can top 125 brake, and on the airstrip, Kerry gets a suntan. Don't touch that dial.